The Soviet MiG-15, known in Poland as the LIM-2, was the pride of the People's Republic of Poland's aviation under Władysław Gomułka in the People's Republic of Poland, and by 1956 about 500 such aircraft had been built under Soviet license. One of them under the much talked about title, We Ensure the Security of Poland. We have introduced a buffer zone, which within a month resulted in a drop in attempted illegal border crossings by about 65%. We will allocate 10 billion zloty for the Shield East project. The Polish army is the largest in years, with more than 200,000 soldiers. The entry disappeared quickly, but nothing really disappears on the internet, especially since the Civic platform boasts in the entry about its unfulfilled or not quite their own achievements. 200,000 soldiers for the Polish army is an achievement of the Law and Justice government. The same is true of the government's much heralded Shield East project, that is, the construction of fortifications on the eastern border, the financing of which Donald Tusk was supposed to have arranged in Brussels. The notorious Shield East that Prime Minister Donald Tusk spoke of was not included in the Defence Action Plan that Ursula von der Leyen presented in recent days. Money for eastern border fortifications Donald Tusk was later to deal directly with Chancellor Olaf Scholz. We know some visualizations, some presentations. We know that there is no money for the programme. We will see what happens next. We certainly can't consider it here a great success because nothing great has happened yet. For what it's worth, as we revealed on our programmes, the government was planning to cut defence spending between 2025 and 2028 by a total of more than 57 billion zloty. Now the Ministry of Defence argues that the cuts will not happen. In fact, we will find out from the budget reports at the end of the fiscal year, because the government will never admit that it has cut something, but the government has a knife at its throat. Of course it will cut them. The Tusk government does not brag about the execution of contracts to supply new equipment to the Polish military from the United States and Korea. When I left the Ministry of Defence, on the desk of my successor, I left a whole set of contracts and executive agreements that had to be signed to increase the number of troops and equip the military with modern weapons. We have US-trained Apache helicopter pilots, of which the Law and Justice government was supposed to buy close to 100, but so far the new government is silent on the matter. We also have Korean K2 tanks, which according to the contract signed by Minister Błaszczak were to be manufactured and maintained in Poznań. The problem is that the executive contract had to be signed by the end of June. Contracts that were initiated under the previous government are currently on hold. There are clearly delays here. The new team is not able to make important decisions that are necessary at the moment. The same is true of the alleged 65% reduction in illegal migration to Poland, thanks to the border buffer zone introduced by the Tusk government. In all elements that are crucial from the point of view of strength and deterrence capabilities, we are sending Russia exactly the opposite signal: chaos, mess, incompetence. Everything indicates that in the Tusk government's defence policy, as in other spheres, the most important thing is the PR effect, because the government talks a lot and does little. Radosław Jankiewicz, TV Republika.